4.5 years ago, when I was given the privilege of joining this body, we faced difficult times similar to today. State revenues were off, and we faced a huge budget deficit. Those that were here, I am sure, remember that late budget voting session. It wasn't an easy night. We had to make some tough choices, painful cuts. But I thought that night, and I said on the floor, that perhaps we had turned a corner, and we finally understood that we can't spend what we don't have. That was a bipartisan budget. After that night, we moved forward on a bipartisan basis to enact many desperately needed reforms to help us live within our means. A 2% property tax cap to rein in our highest in the nation property taxes. Interest arbitration reform with a 2% cap to help our elected officials live within their means. Pension and benefit reforms. We cut red tape. We enacted corporate business tax cuts, and we created economic development programs, all of which had a direct and positive impact on the taxpayers, our economy, and our residents. People started feeling good about the state again, and our business leaders regained their confidence in the state. Today, unfortunately, we take a step backwards. This won't be a bipartisan budget. It won't be a budget we can all be proud of. Instead, it is a budget that increases taxes over $1 billion, leaves our surplus $12 million less than when we started. There's additional special interest spending, and it erodes the confidence of our business leaders. Today, we pivot backwards. Today, we revert to the old failed policies of the past, increased taxes, and a failure to recognize that we have a spending problem, not a revenue problem, all of which will have a negative impact on our economy and on all of our residents. But don't just take my word on this. Look at the facts. You've all heard and seen the studies. A 2014 report by Region Atlantic Capital showed nearly 88,000 people took $5.5 billion with them when they left New Jersey in 2010 in search of states with lower taxes. A Fairleigh Dickinson Public Mind survey told the same story. 57% of Garden State residents that were surveyed plan to relocate because of high taxes that make retirement here impossible. The same study found that 1/3 of New Jersey's non-retirees intended to remain in New Jersey, only 1/3, and 52% intended upon retirement to move elsewhere. Many states are cutting taxes to become more economically competitive. North Carolina, for instance, facing a $445 million deficit, passed the most significant tax relief in the last decade. They reduced personal income taxes across all brackets and replaced their 3-tiered income tax structure with a modified flat tax. They lowered their corporate income tax from 6.9% to 5%, and they repealed the estate tax. And it's working. According to a Wells Fargo report released in April, North Carolina saw labor market conditions improve dramatically in the second half of 2013, with overall job growth outpacing the nation and all major industry groups posting year-over-year employment gains. Mr. Speaker, today's budget sends the wrong message to those who live and do business in our state. What it says is you need to pay even more, while many are still making less. The most important relief that taxpayers can count on today is that the governor still has ink in his red pen and is ready to use it. For those reasons, Mr. Speaker, I cannot support the budget. Thank you.